Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Great. So very welcome to those of you who came to our office today, and also hi to you guys online. My name is Vasily. I'm events manager here at Save the Rhino, and thank you very much, first of all, for all your support. And I'm very glad to share that to date, with your help, we managed to raise £48,000 for Rangers, and it's the campaign is not over. So for the next 2 weeks, we invite you to give it the last push and maybe hit 50,000 or more. Yep. So yeah, I had been on the ForRangers Ultra team last year, and it was an amazing experience for me. But this year, it was my colleague Raj, who is community fundraising officer here, and yeah, I just wanted to give the mic over to Raj, and he'll say a few words about his time over in Kenya.
Thank you. Hi guys. So strange talking to people in the room, but also talking to people online. But yeah, massive wave here from London. Can you guys all hear me okay? I'm guessing so. But it's lovely to, be joined here in the room with some of the people that I spent a week with only last month at the start of September for the ForRangers Ultra. And it's lovely to see some of your faces online as well. I think I saw Alessandro pop up quickly, and that's the only face I actually saw. But guys, welcome. Really lovely to catch up with you. Sorry, I've been told to keep it short and sweet, and I'm not doing that right now. It's hard. There's so much going into this race. It was one of the best. Hey, Tom. Just been joined by Tom Holmes, everybody. As I was saying, I wasn't even racing this year, and it was one of the best experiences of my entire life. At Save the Rhino, we're so proud to be involved with this race, with BTU, with ForRangers as well. Chris and Sam and the whole team. And I hope we, gave you one of the best experiences of your life as well. It was truly special, and it's really hard to believe that it was, yeah, just 1 month ago that I was watching you guys come over the finish line every single day with a smile on your face, which is no small feat. But I wanted to hand over to somebody who is the perfect ambassador for us here at Save the Rhino, and who I was lucky enough to watch go over those 230 kilometers with you guys. He is, as you know, the winner of the Spirit of the Ranger Award. Very, very aptly so. He's the heart and soul of Save the Rhino here, and he's our friend Rhino Boy Chris Green. Unfortunately, he's not going to be stepping into shot because Chris can't be here in person or online, but he did pre-record a little video for us, which I'm just going to share right now. Okay, we're just going to start that again. For people online, we're just starting it again because I don't think all of you can hear that online. And you don't want to miss a minute of what this guy has to say, as I'm sure you're aware.
Hello everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having the best evening tonight celebrating. I'm so sorry that the Rhino and I can't be there to celebrate with you. We're definitely celebrating in spirit, and had to send a message just to say how much we're thinking of you and missing you tonight. As you can see, we've come away for a little while, and and the rhinos got their hooves up, and well, I've got my rhino slippers on, you know, resting up after our recent experiences and that incredible journey. And it really was incredible for so many reasons, that the things that we saw, the experiences that we shared. But you know, one of the most incredible things about it was you all, and I really do feel like we have made, you know, lifelong friends in you all. And it's one of the reasons that I would have loved to have been there and you know, raised the glass with you tonight. But you know, we're raising a glass from afar, having a drink for you guys, and just wishing you all the best. I hope that I'll get to see you all very, very soon. This isn't Tusker, I wish it was, but yeah, loads of love, guys. Have the best evening from me and the Rhino. Love you to bits. Cheers. Bye.
Chris Green, everybody, what a guy, what a guy. There's not much else I can really add to that. Chris, you know, summed up the race itself and how beautiful it was to make those connections with each of you while we were all out there. So next, I'm handing over to the man who's responsible for this event and giving you that experience that you had. He is the orchestrator of all the lactic acid buildup you had for those 5 days, for the blisters you had, and many more of the cramps to come, because I'm sure you're going to be signing up for future events as well. Chris King, everybody.
Hi everyone, I've been given 2 instructions. I'm really nervous that I won't do it right, so sorry if I mess it up. I'm gonna try and be short and sweet, which isn't normally my style, but I have some big news and some good news to share with everyone. Obviously you guys have got back, your feet have been up, you're trying to kind of adjust to regular life, which can take a bit of time. I took about 2 or 3 days just to kind of decompress and not have questions thrown at me. And then after that, it was like straight back into the formal closing of the event. So all the boring stuff, all the payment to the invoices and the accounting and the spreadsheets and stuff that I definitely didn't get in this job for. But the cool thing about this event is when we're doing that, we're also counting up what we have potentially raised and what we might have raised. And Vasily gave us one indication of the fundraising pot that's still growing, but actually I can add a total figure to that now, which includes race profit. And we are now, as it stands today, at £140,000 totally raised. So yeah, that's worth a celebration.
Hello,
Now,
everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're doing well.
Chris is back. Chris is back. Just can't help himself, can he? So yeah, I think £140,000. It's still not finished. It's still coming in. We've still got things that could happen to take that up. So hopefully we can push to 150,000, which is just an amazing amount of money that makes a huge amount of difference. If you go back onto the Just Giving page and look at, you know, what you can get for $30 and $50 and multiply that up to £150,000, you can see the impact that you guys have had. And we will start to share that, or Save the Rhino will start to share where that money goes and how it's spent over the next couple of months. So not only do you get to see the kind of figurative number, but you'll actually get to see the impact and where that goes and what it's spent on. And these guys always make the right decisions. So yeah, just the Victor Ladorum's just walked into the building. So yeah, I just want to thank you all, congratulate you on what's been an incredible race. We have 30 people already signed up for next year without too much effort. That'll creep up to 100 in no time, and then we'll have our next contingent, and they're probably going to reach out to you for advice. And all I'd say is just remember, if you guys have reached out to past competitors for advice and help and packing tips and stuff, you are now in the position to pass on your wisdom to them. So you've still got a role to play. I think by and large that's all I had to say. We have got ForRangers Ultra short film coming out, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'll commit Cammy to that time. He's in his he's in his dungeon at the minute putting it together, but I believe we've got a trailer video for you to watch, and I've got to press a down arrow to make that happen. We'll see if Chris, we'll see if Chris Green pops up again. But yeah, I'm going to pass over to the trailer to get you all excited, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks we'll be reaching out to let you know that this film's ready to watch.
Having the
It's just an honor and privilege to have people across the globe to come and witness what we are doing here on Lewa Boran landscape and also across the conservation area in Africa.
The runners get to meet the rangers, really understand what they go through, but also the rangers get the morale of there are people around the world that care for us, and that's a super powerful thing. There'll be a moment on this race, I'm sure, where we will have a bunch of rangers and a bunch of runners come together and meet. They'll come, they'll chat, they'll swap stories, and it's such a powerful moment that lasts on both sides. So yeah, it's a really special race.
Oh, it's a little baby rhino. He's in within like 5 meters. What an honour. Oh.
Thank you for your work protecting them.
She was attacked by a cheetah after 2 days after she was cut down.
what the most wonderful thing for me is for the rangers who are out there on the race, looking after the runners and keeping them safe from wildlife. They have the opportunity to see that there are people from all over the world, from completely different walks of life, from miles and miles away, completely alien to the environment that they're in now, who really care and really understand and want to understand more about what goes into protecting our wilderness.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, we're looking forward to the documentary release. As you know, the ForRangers Ultra is a partnership between Save the Rhino, the BTU, and ForRangers. So let's hear from the co-founder of ForRangers, Tim Taylor, all the way from Kenya.
Hi all, I'm just out doing an evening patrol with Sammy, the head of the Mounted Scout Unit, which was funded and supported by ForRangers. We just wanted to call and say a huge thank you for everything you've done. I'm full of admiration for what you put yourselves through, but most importantly, the Rangers are just so grateful, not just for all the support and money that you've raised, but for the opportunity they had to spend time with people
from so far away, from all corners of the world, who care so much about what they're doing. It means a huge amount, and we're seriously grateful. Would love to see some or all of you again once you've forgotten how difficult it was and all the pain. But full of admiration for you all, and I hope you have a great evening this evening. This is a little message from Sammy, who's head of this Mountain Scout unit.
Once again, we say thank you and karibu sana. Thank you for your support and karibu sana. Thank you.
All the best, guys. Have an awesome evening.
Yeah, something happened midway. Yeah, great. And now I'd like to invite Charlotte, this year's runner, to share her experience of the race. So welcome, Charlotte.
Hey everyone. Last time I did this, I talked for an hour and a half. One man fell asleep, and it was a room full of my mum's golfing and bridge friends who thought running for a bus was incredible. So, so hopefully you'll all find this vaguely interesting. I just want to talk a little bit about how we prepped for running this race. I'm hoping there's a few people maybe online who are thinking of doing this and haven't already run this race. Otherwise, if I'm talking to a room full of people who have already done this before, it might not be that interesting. This is my third multi-day race. I've done a number of point-to-point ultras or sort of single-stage ultras, but this is the third multi-day that I've done. And definitely the more and more of them that I do, the more I realise this is probably where my heart lies, and putting yourself through that really sort of tough, grueling multi-day, get up, wake up, off you go again, is something that I seem to really enjoy. First one I did was the BTU Highland Ultra. I'd already signed up to run the desert race across the Sahara, but run by a different company. But my coach said to me, why don't you see if you can find a multi-stage race to enter, because it will give you really good experience of all the things that you go through when you're out there day after day. So he suggested the Highland Ultra, because obviously Noidart and the Sahara have very similar climates, and would give me great experience. So yes, weather not quite the same, but what it did teach me was how to manage my pack, how to cope carrying day after day with this sort of weight on your back, how to fuel yourself on this sort of rehydrated bag of slop that by the day 4 just looks really unappealing, but how important it is to get it in to give you the fuel and the energy that you need. Fast forward to the actual desert race itself. I put myself through 6 sessions in a heat chamber in Manchester, which, if anybody's signed up for the Namib desert race, I would highly recommend. It was tough, but really sort of helps you to adjust to the heat. And we've been lucky enough to do a few mountain treks up to K2, Everest, Le Boucher, and they really taught me that I have got the ability to just keep going day after day. When your feet hurt, when your body's tired, when altitude's hard, that actually if you sort of push yourself, you can keep going through these things. And then for the Rangers race, we did a lot of trekking in the Lake District, and we decided to really kind of go at the weighted backpack. So we started at about 6.5 kilos and spent hours and hours and hours trekking up in the mountains, building that weight up to about 10 kilos for about 3 weeks before we flew out to Kenya. And all of that sort of stuff made a big difference for us. So pack really was the sort of key thing that I would take away for multi-stage racing. You'll have all your mandatory kit, get that as light and as small as you can, put it to one side. That's the stuff you have to take. Then you'll end up with a great big mountain of stuff, of your little luxuries where you think, oh, but I might just want that. Put all that to the other side, and then weigh your bag, weigh everything together, and then go through that luxury list of, you might need 5 pairs of knickers because I'm out there for 5 days. I might need a face wash, I might want a hairbrush. All of those things you don't need. Cut your pack weight down to as little as you can get away with, and all of those things will really help your experience whilst you're out there. So, some of you might not know that our adventure to the start line of the race this year was not quite as straightforward as most people. This was 2023 when we first came out to Kenya, and that is my husband, and that is his bum. That in itself is probably another 2 hours of talking, but all I will say is when you get on the bus from Nairobi to drive to Nanyuki, don't stand up. So 2023 came and went, and we never set foot on any of the course. Luckily for us, this is an amazing race company, and the Save the Rhino team are fantastic. And so they were kind enough to move our entries to this year. So fast forward to 2024, and we were all systems go, all good to go. And then I found out at the start of this year that I have an inherited cardiac condition. So we thought that was race over again, and that we weren't going to be able to get out there. But we went through a whole host of tests and specialists, and eventually I got the medical all clear, and so we made it out there. So for us, this it was quite a special event, and it was there was a lot of build up, a lot of motion to to get here. And I think, as has already been said before, but what sort of makes these events that sort of bit special is the people that you meet. The ultra running community is just an incredible group of people, and there's just so many sort of friends that you'll meet. The bonds that you create while you're doing these sorts of things are fantastic, and I know there are people in this room that I will still be talking to in 20 years' time whilst we're all trying to convince ourselves what stupid adventure we're going to go on next. You know, you really do meet the most amazing group of like-minded people. And I think there's something quite magical about this race in particular. You go through the most incredible gambit of emotions. You have the most amazing highs, whether it's running through villages with all these little kids running alongside you, going, candy, candy, chocolate, chocolate. And you're like, I've just got my pack down to 8 kilos. I've not got anything for you. Or whether it's getting to the end of a stage where Chris has told you it's as flat as a pancake, and it's really not. But you have just the most amazing highs and some pretty tough lows. But I think there is just something quite magical about this race. You hope you're going to see some animals. What you don't really expect to see is this sort of, herds of elephants down at a drinking hole to be told the race has got to wait for 20 minutes because there's animals moving around the course, and it's just a sort of fantastic experience. And I think I'll be honest, when we signed up for this race, I didn't know a huge amount about Save the Rhino. I'd seen the rhinos running around the London Marathon course, but that was kind of as much as I knew. And I knew even less about the ForRangers charity. But when we started, we were at Camp Labour on the first night, and you have your first fireside chat, and you get to meet some of the rangers and their dogs, and you listen to the stories that Raj and Chris King will tell you about what the cause is, how the money goes to just these incredible communities and to help these people that are doing the most amazing thing. And all of a sudden, you start to really sort of wake up and appreciate what it is you're actually there doing. That yes, you get to race across this amazing environment, and you can see animals, and it's all really cool, and you're in Kenya, and the weather's nice. Actually, once you get out there and you really sort of start to sort of see these people and see the rangers and meet them and just see how hard their day is and how hard their job is, but how passionate they are about it, it makes it all feel really sort of magical and really real. And then, yeah, you get these sort of incredible experiences, like when you meet Bella, this just amazing, beautiful orphan animal, and you hear firsthand from the rangers the work that they're doing to support them and to help rehabilitate them and to get them back out in the wild. It's fantastic. It's an incredible experience. And I think this is a sort of thing that when you're looking to try and get some ideas for your fundraising, I think don't underestimate what it is that you've done. When you tell people you've gone 230 kilometers on foot across Kenya, nobody's going to ask you how fast you were, where you finished in the field. Nobody cares about that. Everyone just goes, oh my God, that's amazing. And so my top tip would be to, if you can, to put on some sort of an event where you get your local running community, your friends, your family, find some wine, some cheese, kind of an area where you can get everybody together and tell them about what you've done. And you'll be surprised just how generous people are and how deep they will dig into their pockets, because most of these people, they're not runners. They don't really understand what the ultra running community is all about. And so when you start to talk about what you've been through and what you've done, they will dig deep and they will understand the cause, and they'll see your passion in what you're doing and why you do it, and hopefully they'll help fill your coffers up. So for us, what's next? We have a long list of expeditions and adventures that we're looking to go on. We've got lots of races we want to do. And I'm hoping that maybe one day the rhino suit might be back on. I'm already wondering whether a rhino's climbed Scarfell or where the rhino's been in the mountains, but who knows, we'll see. But yeah, I know whatever we do next will be some incredible adventure, and we'll be with amazing people like yourselves. And let's not forget, Scott will be next to me.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. A round of applause, Charlotte. Great. Paul and Heli couldn't be with us tonight in this room, but they're joining on Zoom from South Africa. So let's hear from Paul and Heli.
Hey everyone, yeah, sorry we can't be there in person, but we were also asked to share a bit about our experience. It's a pretty tough act to follow Charlotte, but we're going to do our best. We're just going to share screen, and hopefully somebody can just let us know if they can see our
just
screen.
One sec, Paul and Ellie. We're just pulling you up for everyone in the office to see you guys as well.
Cool.
I appreciate how hasty you guys were in there, though. That was like...
You told us to be ready, Raj.
Just as fast as you guys were on the course as well.
Yeah, rapid.
One sec, just bear with us. Okay, you're all good.
Cool. Well, I'm Heli.
I'm Paul, Heli's partner.
Yeah. So we'll just start with like a super quick intro on us. I think it sounds like there's lots of runners in the room, but for those that didn't meet us or online, we're a couple. We live around the world together because we run a startup together, which helps people to relocate. So we get to be anywhere in the world for that. And since we live together and we work together, we thought we should also have a joint hobby together, because that felt really smart. And we thought we better pick one that has us spending a lot of time training together. So safe to say we spend a lot of time together. But our background at running is a little bit different.
So I love running. Have had the sort of bug, so to speak, for about 5 years. Have done a few ultras in the past, but only the plushy kind where they carry your bags for you, which is, nice relative to the self-sufficient beast of ForRangers.
And I had actually spent a lot of time being support crew for Paul on those races, which I also recommend is just like a great way, as Raj was saying earlier, to get involved. But my background was in lacrosse, which is a sprint-based sport. And you were pretty much told never to go on a long run. So when we decided to do this event, I had never knowingly or purposefully gone on a dedicated run, not even for 5K before. The concept of running not after a ball of some form was a completely foreign concept to me, only having watched Paul do it, basically. So yeah,
you might be thinking, how the hell did Heli end up running 5 marathons in 5 days, or 230k, however you want to cut it? I actually had a friend who was doing the social media for the ForRangers Ultra right back when it was getting started. She was based out in Kenya, and she messaged me being like, this seems like right up your street because I love running. As we know, Heli didn't love running, but she promised me once in my life she would do an ultra marathon with me. And Charlotte already brought up cute Bella. I don't know if anyone else saw that ridiculously cute promo video that had Bella in it. But I just showed that video to Heli, didn't tell her how far the distance was, and she signed up right there and then. And that was actually a few years ago. We had to wait for Heli to sort of stop playing lacrosse. And then similarly to Charlotte again, actually injury struck in 2023. So we had to delay till 2024 as well. So we had a couple of years run at the race itself.
Yeah, so I think it was probably about 2 years ago that we started training, and I very, very vividly remember my first 10K. We had the opportunity, because of the fact that we get to live around the world, of training in lots of different places. So that first 10K ever was one of what became many laps around Buenos Aires. We've done training in pretty terrible storms and heat stroke, I think, in Cape Town. We've trudged through snow in the Alps, and all kinds of weather and locations, just trying to, just like Charlotte was talking about, like slowly just like build up the mileage. I remember the very first time I wore not even a full backpack, just a running vest. That felt like a completely foreign idea to run with anything on me at all. So the pack towards the end was a big step up. But yeah, it was pretty much me learning actually along the way that I actually don't love running at all. Paul was my coach. He had to also act as team cheerleader, chief map reader, because I pretty much couldn't look at anywhere other than the ground because I trip up a lot. But slowly we got there, and actually really just the excitement of the event kept me going through periods of running that were not my forte.
Yeah, so we got through the training anyway, and we'll park that there. Onto the fundraising piece. If you haven't done this event, you sort of get there on day one. We didn't know anyone else, and you're a little bit nervous. But the first person we actually met was Raj, who, as you've seen, is literally the friendliest bloke in the world. And he immediately gave us a huge hug. I was like, are you Paul? Paul and Heli, like, you've been doing some fundraising. Thank you so much. And actually, yeah, so the he immediately started asking us about, you know, the fundraising efforts, and that was sort of a few months before race. We started posting on Instagram, messaging all our friends on WhatsApp, both of which are very rare occurrences for both of us. So I think that in itself signaled to people that this was going to be a really big deal. And I think by the time we got there, we'd been sort of banging on about it to people for 2.5 years, sort of showed them and encouraged them to dig deep once we'd sort of WhatsApped them enough times.
Yeah, so you can see a few of the comments, some friends having different motivations for sponsoring us, and the different motivations we had for doing the event, but very grateful that we were able to kind of chivvy people along with a lot of repetitive, but we also, a bit similar to what Charlotte said about getting out and talking about the event and hosting something. The last thing that we did before we came out is we did a final five, which was an opportunity to message everybody about it. But we did a lap of a park in London with our backpacks and their weight, so that our friends could kind of get a bit of an understanding of what we'd be doing. And we got a group of them to come and run with us. And yeah, just another excuse to nudge people along on the fundraising efforts as well.
Nice. And that sort of, we'd met Raj, that took us to the race itself, which was pretty epic. We won't go through sort of every day by any means, but here's just 5 thoughts to represent the 5 days. The first of which, as Charlotte said, there's a lot of low moments. This was both of our first 5-day event, and you're out there forever and it sucks at times. You're digging pretty deep, but one of the cool things was sort of learning that ultra mindset of if you can just keep going, keep one foot going in front of the other, it normally would get better. Not always, but if you could, it just got better over time.
Yeah, the second one was really, it was about the wildlife. Like that was definitely a huge motivator, as Paul said. It was the big thing that got me out there. And I think just the fact that you get to see a lot of it was something that we hoped for and definitely came true. But what we probably didn't realize is just how little the wildlife would care about us. So if anybody is thinking about doing the event and is nervous about the wildlife, don't worry, it's curious but doesn't ultimately care, and that you also get to see great people like Chris in a rhino suit if you're lucky as well.
Yeah, and then the third one, which we'd obviously had a good run raising funds in advance of the event and been to a couple of events and knew what an amazing charity Save the Rhino was, ForRangers, and a little bit about the cause, but wow, just you learned so much about conservation in the area, even just in the hour-long bus journey on the way out there. Sitting next to Raj, I think I learned more about rhino conservation and its knock-on impacts than in my entire life combined. And then through the fireside chats, chatting to the rangers, chatting to the conservation owners, chatting to even other participants, just getting to learn so much was just really incredible, and sort of seeing how valuable it is when you can, impact rhino populations and then the knock-on impact for the rest of wildlife as well, which we sort of knew a little bit about, but you just learned so much throughout the week, which was, pretty inspiring. So we're chuffed with that.
Yeah. Our fourth one just was that a reflection around the people that we got to meet. You can see Charlotte on the right of that photo there. We really had spent so much time thinking about like the fact that the distance we had to run, what food we were going to eat, what the packs were going to be like, that actually we kind of forgot about all the people that would be running alongside of us. So many of you guys in the session, and actually that you're really getting to run alongside like 100 other people from around the world with amazing stories, different motivations. That's really interesting, and actually that is everything as part of the race, to get to meet everybody. And so it's not per se a bonus, but it's just something that we hadn't really like pre-thought about, and then found it to be one of the most amazing aspects, which then brings us on to the fifth one, which was really just around the other thing we hadn't considered in advance, was just how many people it was going to take to organize an event like this, that you can't just go out there and do it on a whim, you by yourself with a backpack. It doesn't happen like that. And like the amazing amount of people from the Save the Rhino team, BTU, ForRangers, the medical team, all the rangers themselves, the conservancies, like the British Army. That was a surprise when we got out there, like what an insane operation it is, and just how grateful we are that Chris et al. Was mad enough to be able to set it up, and then that enabled us to be able to do it as a challenge. So it was, an awesome operation.
And for us, or for me, from my perspective, the good news was, in spite of Helly saying she would be one and done, she's already secretly looking at the next adventures and more epic races in new locations. So time will tell, but everyone here needs to hold her true to that whilst we have the momentum. And then for everyone else, I'm sure many of you would agree, it sort of took forever and went by in the blink of an eye at the same time. So really, it was just so nice, savouring every moment. And big thanks to everyone at Save the Rhino, BTU, ForRangers, and everyone else involved, because it was truly such an unforgettable week, and impossible to fit it all in.
We're just going to finish up. We mentioned to Vasily that we had tried to take kind of a video each day, recording what our thought or emotion in a single word, and he suggested that we try and put it together in a little video clip. A little bit embarrassed to show it now that we've seen Cam's trailer, but it is not that high quality. It was shot on an iPhone, but we hope you enjoy it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the tech allows us to show it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One word? Fast.
Paul's claiming he's feeling relaxed.
Dry Brook.
fire. Go, Helly! Go, Helly!
One word to describe day 2 morning.
Hurrah.
Good morning.
What about you?
Up.
Up. Let's say hello to a ranger. Hello!
Foot tape. Boob tape. Shoulder tape. Back tape. Pay tape makes the world go.
It's awesome, Ellie's.
Ellie's, very good.
Got some hand trims back just for you.
Straight uphill. 6 kilometers to go today, most of them uphill.
Day 3, straight in for a high five with Raj. Class. Check it out.
Way to describe, Helly?
Rhino.
Oh yeah! Look at the views all around, stunning.
Day 5 morning.
One word to describe the last day.
Els, what word would you describe this moment? 2 words. Making it. Okay, we're making it. I describe it as a lovely cool breeze or breezy. Great, that's it from us. Back to Vasily and the crew in the office.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul and Helly. Yes, and we are coming to an end of our live streaming. Are there any questions for Paul, Helly, Chris, Raj, Charlotte? Come.
I've got a question for Mark. What time is it, mate? Why are you in bed so soon? I got it.
Guys, we're just going to turn the camera around so you can see everyone else in the office. Yeah, big waves. Woo!
Right, so I think that brings an end to the evening. I hope you all had a good time. It's been great to see your faces again. The one thing I missed out on mine is obviously we've got 140,000 raised on this year. We need to do a bit more finer maths, but we reckon that since the beginning of this event, we have now cracked 750,000 raised in total. So yeah, you are part of a bigger number. And that just puts our focus onto next year. I said that I'd torpedo a bottle of champagne when we hit 1 million. So that's a bit of so we are, if we push as hard as we can over the next couple of weeks, we will close the event up on our side in the next couple of weeks, but I believe the Just Giving page stays open longer, doesn't it? It's till December. So you got this year. Yeah, there's stuff like that. So we have other commitments still to come in. So the 140,000 that we've declared now is as of now, but there's nothing stopping us getting to 150, 160 as other things come in. So we'll officially kind of put an end to it on BTU side and announce what we've done for this year. But as always, it continues to trickle on to the end of this calendar year. So yeah, cheese and wine parties till Christmas is what we've got. But look, it's been great to see. I'm looking behind me now and just seeing everyone's face, and it's just so cool to see you again. I just need a campfire and to be in Kenya, and it's just gonna be like it. It's also nice to see you all washed as well and clean. You all look very different. Oh, and James Gagg's here. Hi, James. Yeah, I'll sign it off from here. Have a great evening or morning, if you're on the other side of the world, and hopefully we'll see you somewhere awesome sometime soon.